The year is 2085. A man stands before a mirror in the early light of morning. His name is Ale. His face looks no older than 35. His eyes are clear, his hands steady. Yet he remembers watching the first Mars landing in person. He remembers the world before self-driving cities, before AI tutors, before climate restoration projects reshaped the planet. He is more than 80 years old. Outside, the streets are full of people like him. Teachers in their 70s training for marathons. Surgeons in their 90s with the precision of youth. Grandparents who look like older siblings. Hospitals have changed. Retirement has changed. Even the idea of growing old has faded into something abstract, like an outdated superstition. In this world, aging is no longer inevitable. It is managed, slowed, carefully controlled, and this future may be closer than we think. To understand how we could reach that future, we must first understand what aging really is. Aging is not simply wrinkles or gray hair. It is not just the passing of years. Aging is a biological process happening deep inside our cells, every second of our lives. Each human body is made of trillions of cells. These cells divide, repair, and replace themselves constantly. When you cut your skin, cells multiply to heal the wound. When you exercise, muscle cells adapt and strengthen. Life depends on this delicate rhythm of renewal, but over time, this system begins to break down. Inside each cell is DNA, the instruction manual of life. Every time a cell divides, it must copy that DNA, and every time it copies, tiny errors can occur. Most are repaired, some are not. Over decades, these small mistakes accumulate. The repair systems themselves become less efficient. There is also a structure at the end of our chromosomes called telomeres. Telomeres act like protective caps, similar to the plastic tips at the end of shoelaces. Each time a cell divides, telomeres become slightly shorter. When they become too short, the cell can no longer divide safely. It either stops functioning or dies. This gradual shortening is one of the fundamental clocks of aging. Another change happens when cells enter a state called senescence. These are cells that have stopped dividing but refuse to die. Instead of contributing to healthy tissue, they linger. They release inflammatory signals. They disrupt their neighbors. As we age, senescent cells accumulate, and the body becomes less efficient, more inflamed, more fragile. Mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside our cells, also begin to fail. Energy production drops, tissues lose resilience, muscles weaken, organs struggle to maintain balance. Aging, then, is not a single event. It is a slow unraveling, a gradual loss of information, repair, and energy at the cellular level. For most of human history, aging was accepted as destiny. We could treat diseases, we could ease symptoms, but we could not interfere with the underlying clock. Now, that assumption is being challenged. In laboratories around the world, researchers are exploring a radical idea. What if aging is not fixed? What if it is a process that can be slowed, reset, or partially reversed? One of the most intriguing areas of research is cellular reprogramming. Scientists have discovered that mature cells, such as skin cells, can be guided back into a more youthful state. By carefully activating specific genetic pathways, it is possible to restore some of the cell's original flexibility and repair capacity. In controlled experiments with animals, certain tissues have shown signs of rejuvenation. Damaged nerves have regained function. Vision has improved. This does not mean immortality. It does not mean a complete reversal of time. it suggests something profound. Aging may not be a one-way street. Telomere research has also advanced. While simply extending telomeres is risky and can increase cancer risk, understanding how telomere maintenance works has opened doors to more precise therapies. Instead of blindly lengthening them, scientists are studying how to stabilize telomeres safely, preserving cell function without triggering uncontrolled growth. Another promising approach targets senescent cells. In animal studies, drugs known as senolytics have been used to selectively remove these dysfunctional cells. When senescent cells are cleared, tissues often function better. Inflammation decreases. Physical endurance improves. Early human trials are exploring whether similar strategies can reduce age-related diseases. Gene editing technologies have added another layer of possibility. With tools that allow precise modification of DNA, researchers are investigating how to correct genetic mutations that accelerate aging or increase vulnerability to disease. The goal is not cosmetic youth. It is resilience. It is extending the period of life spent in good health. This field is often called longevity research, but its true focus is not simply longer LO.